Mr. Theodoros Roussopoulos, President of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. Monsieur Theodoros Roussopoulos, Président du Parlement, Assemblée parlementaire du Conseil de l'Europe.
Honorable President and members of the Court, judges, Honorable Secretary General of the Council of Europe, Your Excellency, Honorable President of Malta, honorable guests. When Paul Valéry once asked Albert Einstein, "Do you carry a notebook around to record your ideas?" the great scientist, usually unflappable, seemed surprised. "No," he replied, "there's no need for that. You see, I rarely have new ideas." This small exchange is a gentle warning to all those who claim each day to bring new ideas just for saying that they are doing something. I'm talking, of course, about our convention. Most of these so-called new ideas are not new at all. In my opinion, they are too often attempts to impress voters for short-term political gain. The reason is well known to all of us: migration. But out of more than 1 million cases that the court has examined, only 250 are about immigrants. 100 years ago, dear participants, the New York police announced that the most dangerous immigrants were the Greeks, the Italians, and the Irish. Imagine what if these three communities would have been deported from the States. Then, who would support such a totalitarian solution today? The Convention should not be a refuge for criminals, and it isn't, of course, even more a scapegoat of our failure. I'm talking about us politicians to face problems or to find political solutions. For 75 years, solutions were found and immigration was always around, not only Europe. Today, 75 years after the signing of the European Convention on Human Rights, some political voices in Europe question its authority, threaten to renegotiate it, or even to withdraw from it. Sorry, but this is not about improving our institutions, it is about eroding them. If there are new ideas to be pursued, they should concern how to better protect democracy, not how to retreat from our achievements. And if changes are ever needed, they must be discussed calmly, thoroughly, and democratically, never under the pressure of populism. The Convention was born out of fire and sorrow, drafted by politicians bigger than history, who had seen what happens when power is unchecked and human dignity has no defender. It was not written in stone, of course, but it was written with conscience. To question its independence today is not a legal debate. It is a political temptation. The temptation to imitate the extremes in order to defeat them. But when you imitate the extremes, you legitimize them. And then Europe ceases to be the cradle of humanism and becomes the laboratory of fear. Let us then imagine the opposite world, dear participants. A Europe without the Convention. A continent that rebuilt its homes and parliaments after the war, but not its moral architecture. In that Europe, minorities might have remained invisible. Victims of torture would have had no voice. Love between people of the same sex would still be a crime. Do we all remember Alan Turing, a hidden great hero of the Second World War? Do we all remember that he was forced to chemical castration and committed suicide after the same that he felt against the society? Had we not had this convention, children born out of wedlock would still bear the mark of shame. Domestic violence would be a private tragedy, not a public wrong. And journalists, those who speak truth to power, would have fewer words left to speak. Without the Convention, we would still have progress, but not the same protection. We would still have institutions, but not the same trust. We would still have Europe, but not the same soul. Fortunately, the Convention has been there, whispering to every government, remember your promise. 75 years on, the European Convention on Human Rights remains the most powerful act of imagination in our continent's history. The belief that law can protect the dignity of life and that justice can unite nations more strongly than fear ever divided them. Let us never reach a day when we will have to admit this was a defeat for our imagination. Thank you.